Hi, James from James Reptiles, and I'm here with Bobby. You go ahead.
Yeah, my name's Bobby Macgregor, and I currently keep rosy boas. That's what I specialize in.
And king snakes?
I do have a couple king snakes, yes.
The California king snakes? Or
I have Baja Mountain king snakes, and then I also have Arizona Mountain king snakes.
I don't think I've seen either of those in person.
Okay.
What was your first? What got you into reptiles?
I started keeping reptiles when I was 6 years old. My dad took me out herping, or going out looking for snakes. And so the first snake I ever found was a gopher snake cruising on the road. And I've pretty much been addicted ever since then.
Yeah, that'll get you hooked real good.
Yeah.
When did you start breeding, and what was it?
First started breeding when I was a sophomore in high school, and it was a corn snake.
Right on.
Yeah.
I had some high school teachers that were breeding corn snakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and then from there it grew to king snakes, other colubrids. So I bred corns, kings, milks. I bred some other boas, and then lately it's mostly rosy boas.
Right on.
Yeah.
I know you just fed yesterday, but can we take a look at some?
Yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
So when it comes to rosies, there's the popularity about them is their different looks, and
There's localities, right?
Localities, right? Yeah, there's different subspecies, and then even within the subspecies, there's different localities. So,
and I'm not 100% up on the rosy boas. Are some of them illegal in California?
no, there's no. They're all legal to have. Yeah. Now, if it's a California native species, which you've got coastals and you've got deserts, you can breed those. You can sell them, but you need a California propagation permit to sell them.
And that gives them the right to come in and check your stock.
Yeah, exactly. So with that too, you have you do have a bag limit, so you can keep them. You can breed them, but you basically have to just give the babies away if you don't have a propagation permit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe with the bag limit, it's 4 rosy boas per fishing license in the household, or anyone under the age of 16. So if you have 1 adult living there, you can have 4 native rosies. If you've got 2 adults there, you can have 8.
Unless you have the permit.
Unless you have a permit, then there's other rules there, and I don't know exactly what that is. But anyway, if we want to start taking a look.
Yeah, how many, real quick, how many breeding pairs do you have?
You know what? I need to do an update. My collection's actually a lot smaller right now than it was even just a couple of months ago. I got rid of a bunch of breeding pairs, and just trying to cut back on my collection to make room for babies that I'm growing up, and then also I've got some other interest, and I want to start getting into some other animals and things.
Well, right on.
Yeah. So anyway, we could start over here on this rack. Right here we have a Magdalena Plains Rosie.
Dang.
This is a male.
Beautiful.
I don't know if I've ever really seen rosy boas in person.
Yeah. Well,
maybe a couple and a deli cup at a show, but
Right. Now this is from Baja. That's where these originally come from. And in Baja you can find these are called triv or trivs, the black and gray ones. They're also known as the Mexican Rosie. You could find this look, this black and gray or black and tan or black and cream look on mainland Mexico as well. So they're in southern Baja and then mainland Mexico. These animals here are coastal rosy boas. This is an albino Limburg, very popular in the pet trade.
I could see why.
Yeah, exactly.
Gorgeous.
And this animal is possible het calico, and I've got a female that...
A visual.
Well, no, she's not a visual.
Okay.
But the genetics on that calico mutation has not really been proven. It's been spotty. And so I'm just going to try to work with it and see what I can produce. This animal here is a coastal variation of...
Like the other one, but not albino.
But not albino, exactly. And this is a double het for another project I'm working on.
I love that one. That was pretty.
Yeah. So the next animal here is a Catavina. This is really popular in the pet trade. I've got my cat going in here.
All friends are welcome.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, this is a Catavinia, which is a really popular locality within the Baja area. There's probably the most desirable animal for rosy boas on in the reptile trade. And if you could take a look here, it's kind of a burgundy red on a gray.
Yeah, it's
Let
hard
me
to
get a
tell.
flash on there real
We
quick.
need to get a flash there.
There we go.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is that snake?
I believe she's 5 years old.
Oh, so that's an adult.
Yes.
Oh wow.
But she has a little bit of growing to do still. They can get bigger. These next animals here, this is the female that is paired up with this male, and these are double het for. I bred a coffee hypo to an albino Limburg, and so these are double het for Sunglow. So that'll be really cool to prove that out. That produce one of those. It's a 1 in 16 chance. And rosy boas usually only have like 3 or 4 babies, so it's
Are they
gonna.
live bearers?
They are live bearers.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And how many genes are in rosy boas right now? You're naming a lot of stuff I never heard of.
Sure. There's albinos, there are anerythristics, and then there are some hypos. And then I mentioned the calico, that's out there, but again, that's not really a consistent gene that people have been able to
Hone in on.
hone in on. There you go, thank you. So I've got mainly just albinos as far as mutations go. I don't have any of the other ones right now. I did have some, but I've since sold them. And then one of the other mutations that's out there is a snow, and I'm sure you've probably heard that term used for others. That's a combination of breeding albinos and aneries, and then
It's always albino and something, yeah.
yeah, it's always albino and something. That's true. So moving on, these are just more of the albino coastal or aka Limburg albinos.
That one's like pastel almost.
Yeah, he's a cool animal, and he's het for anerythristic, which means if you combine him with the right female, you can produce snows. And then this is just another Limburg albino male. He's in his shed right now, but he is really bright looking when he's not. He's probably the most vibrant snake I have. Next animal is a El Rosario. Now the El Rosarios look very similar to the Catavinias, but they've been in the pet trade for a while, and so they're a little more common, but they have that same look. The main difference between the El Rosarios and the Catavinias is the El Rosarios don't have orange eyes where the Catavinias do. That's not always the case in the Catavinias, but they're known for having orange eyes. And I've got an animal that we can take a look at, and you can really see those eyes. So this is a male El Rosario, and yeah, we get some light. You can see he has that same look, but he doesn't have the orange eyes.
Oh, wow.
So that's a locality thing?
That's a locality thing, yeah. Exactly. So this animal here is a Catavinia, and she has the orange eyes, but they're kind of dark on her. Or excuse me, him.
Oh, yeah. That's really interesting.
Oh, wow.
What is an albino like that? The eyes are just red still?
Yeah, the albinos are just red. Yeah. Now there are not any albinos in this particular locality. Let's see if this Catavinia.
Oh, because no one crosses them, huh?
Yeah, no one. At least I don't believe they have, and I hope no one has. Let's see. She has. You have that light.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Catavinias are kind of darker, but here you can see how.
That's really pretty.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I've got another one over here that we'll look at. All right, so this rack over here is where I keep most of my females. Starting at the top, I have a whitewater albino. Now, this is a albino morph that's been around for a long time. It's one of the first, and she's kind of nippy. But the difference between the whitewater and the Limburgs is the whitewaters come from an intergrade zone from the Cabazon area, and it's a very known road that a lot of herpers have hunted for many years. It's if you're into herping in the reptile community and you're from Southern California, you know whitewater. So anyway, I only have the one female. I don't have any other animals to pair her up with, but I like her, and so I keep her, even though she's a little nippy. So over here, I have another coffee albino female. Limburg albino female. And the females, you can see, are quite a bit bigger than males. And that's kind of general.
Common, yeah.
Yeah, it's fairly common with rosy boas. And then this animal here is a San Matias. And these come from Baja, California as well. And they're kind of cool. They're just this light, they're a light colored
Wow.
animal. So what's cool, I mentioned earlier, is with localities within the species. So the San Matias and the Catavinas and the El Rosarios are all the same subspecies. But you can see that even still,
just the different
they
colors
look
that
way
come out.
different. And if you did not know, you would not know that those are the same subspecies.
I would assume so as well. That's crazy.
But again, that's part of my appeal. Why I like them is having the different localities, working with them, seeing what the babies look like when you produce them. Okay, so this animal here, this is...
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, now that's a het for calico, and I am pairing her up with this albino.
He's
Also,
also calico, right?
yeah, he's well, who knows? I say that term very loosely.
Oh, I've had some stuff not prove out, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the calico comes from the Limburg gene. So this is essentially what a normal Limburg animal looks like.
So for those who don't know, a het to het, 1 in 4 should prove out as a visual calico in this case. And of the remaining 3, 2 of them will be het for a calico and 1 won't. In that case, you just call it a 66% pos het because it's, without breeding it out and proving it out, it's impossible to tell. In most cases. Some animals have het markers, but...
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of good to always study that and learn that,
there's a lot of
especially when
math
you're
there.
yeah,
People don't understand.
yeah, exactly. And so you
Punnett
really gotta
squares.
you gotta study the Punnett square, and then especially when you start combining multiple genes.
Yeah, like you were saying, like your 1 in 16 chance.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out what it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's work, and that's what makes it fun. That's part of the appeal, right?
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Yeah, it is. It is a challenge. Okay, so moving on, I have some more El Rosarios. And these 2 are females.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, these are the ones that don't have the orange eyes. Now I've got this other female, Catavina. She's really cool. She's really big. She's girthy.
I love the design though.
Yeah, exactly. And her eyes are not as orange as the other 2, but again, that's a marker that you want to look for in the Catavinas. Alright, in this tub here, I have a Magdalena plain female, and let's see if we can get her out of here. And I love this particular locality because they have a silver and black.
Yeah, it's a nice look.
Yeah, it is. And I don't have anything else to compare it, but some of the other known localities for this type of look, you've got on mainland Mexico, you have Ortiz, and then in the United States, you can find these in Arizona. A really popular locality, or a couple of very popular localities, are Oregon Pipe and then Ajo. Those are 2 areas where that particular look can be found in the United States. And then this animal, no, I'm sorry, where's that? This animal here is a San Gabriel rosy boa, and I actually found that snake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was road cruising in the San Gabriel Mountains, and there was just crawling along the road, so I grabbed it. And this is a very, very popular locality within the pet community because of the bright orange. It is a coastal rosy boa, and they can be found pretty much throughout the range of the San Gabriels, on the north side, the south side, the whole mountain range has them. And they get really high in elevation up there too, which is kind of cool. And then here is the mate to that one. Now, I did not catch this snake. A friend of mine did and gave it to me. But you can see she's nice and healthy and plump. For next animal, here's another really popular locality. This is a dome rock. And I found this snake as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're a scavenger.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool find for me. And what's really neat is this locality. I mean, they're right next to the freeway. I mean, literally, you're within probably 40, 50 yards of a major highway. Wow. And so you see these things get crushed all the time on the road, unfortunately.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah, but it's a very popular locality, and they have that bright orange, and it's kind of like a mottled look, which is really popular. What do I have here? There's nothing in there. Oh, okay. So these next two animals I have to show you are Mojave Mountains, which it's actually a new locality that was discovered about 5 years ago by a friend of mine, Danny Lawrence. And that particular mountain range is on the Arizona side of Lake Havasu. And there's a club, ARC, Annual Rosie Club, that meets out once a year. And at that event, Danny found it. And it was kind of a highlight for everyone to find a new locality. And so he bred that pair that he found, and he gave me babies. And so these are the very first babies that were ever produced from that locality.
That's super cool. I love that.
Exactly. So not very common in the pet trade at all. Very few of these.
Does anyone else have babies from that pairing?
I believe he's bred them once or twice.
Okay.
And I'm still growing mine up, but I eventually will be breeding these, but they need another year at minimum, if not longer. And then the last boa on this rack is a male dome rock, and he has a little bit different look to him than the female, which is really common for this locality to have different looks.
Some variability.
Some variability within it. Yeah, the male over here, you can see, has more speckling to him. It's too bad the lighting is so bad. Yeah, exactly. The female is much more orange.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pretty.
I've got some babies over here. These are all Collecrions, but I have the parents, and so she ate a bunch yesterday.
Oh yeah.
She's all nice and fat.
No, do you do 2 water dishes? I keep seeing.
Oh, I glue these in here, but I don't really like these, and so I'll just use those. And I don't keep a lot of water in with my roses. You want them to be dry.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So I do make sure that they're always hydrated, but I'll give them water like once a month or maybe twice a month.
Yeah, I've heard of overhydration.
Yeah, exactly. There's a common problem with rosies regurgitating. It's a known thing, and there's not any one particular thing we've found that like pinpoints why they do it, but there's just like a combination of things that you want to do to help prevent it. But even then, it's still going to happen. I mean, I've been breeding these for over 10 years, and it still happens to me, and I just like, it's so frustrating. And it's bad because once they start, that's it. They're done. There's nothing you can do. If they get into a habit, if they regurgitate 2 or 3 times in a row, I mean, you're pretty much done, unfortunately. So here's one of the other Collecrions, and you could see this one has really bright orange eyes. And so I didn't breed any of my snakes this year. These are babies that I held back from the year before the previous year. And we have footage of the parents. I have 1 male and 2 females. And then here's a baby from that big female.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I like
and he's
that.
really clean.
Yeah, the silver is almost like a light blue color.
It is. It's almost like a metallic blue.
Yeah.
Wow, I wish it showed up on camera.
I know, it's too bad.
It makes it more of a yellow muted kind of color, but it's
Yeah.
beautiful in person.
Yeah. You should have like done some other type of money. And then I'm getting ready to put my king snakes down to hibernation. I put them in here temporarily. And you mentioned that you were not familiar with Baja Mountain Kings or
No.
Pyros. Okay, so.
They look gorgeous though.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know you could get tops for those.
I love
birds.
these containers.
Yeah, in fact, I bought this at like Target or something.
That's like
15
pink.
years ago. What's that?
It's like pink.
Yeah, she's really light looking compared to the other ones. They're kind of like an orangish pink. It's pretty crazy.
Right.
Yeah. And so we know, there's regular king snakes, the black and white ones, and then there's the mountain kings. I don't have any of the regular kings. I just have just mountain kings. Let's see. And then here's the other Baja Mountain King was the female, and then this is my male. And I just have 1 pair.
And are those adult size?
Yes.
For those? Okay.
Yeah, these are
a lot
adult
smaller
size.
than other king snakes.
Yeah, they don't get too big.
He's quite of a deeper orange than the other one is.
Yeah. All right, and then the next pair I'm going to show you are Arizona Mountain Kings. And I found these snakes. I collected them.
Those are
And-
nice. That's a
yeah.
wild caught.
That's a wild caught animal, yeah.
I love that pattern.
Yeah, exactly.
The bands just lead together, all that black.
Oh, it's awesome. And when you see these in the wild, they pop. They're like bright. It just shines out. I mean, you don't get tired of seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super awesome. So this is a male. And then here's a female. And I collected this female also the first night I was out there, and then I collected the male the second night I was out there. And they were found about a half a mile difference on the road. So they're pretty much about as close as you can get for locality. Wow. Yeah. So these are cool. Now she's got some weird markings.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And they're most likely scarring of some sort, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It could be a mutation, but I'm not counting on it. But we'll see. I'm trying to breed them and produce babies and all that, and we'll see what happens. That's it for my collection.
Well, that was awesome. I know I learned a lot, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
I know you said you don't do Facebook. Is there any way? I know, and you also wholesale a lot of stuff. Is there any way people can get animals from you if they wanted to? If they could contact you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Feel free to reach me at my email, bobby_Macgregor@yahoo.com. I check it daily, so feel free to reach out. And then I do have a Facebook account, so you can find me on Facebook and send me an instant message or something. That's
I'll
all.
send you a friend request.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. All right.
Well, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you again.